Hi, everybody. This is Paul from Rosie's 1901 3200 Halls Mill Road in Mobile, Alabama. Guess who we have back with us today? Aly's back with us. And interesting, remember we talked about her last time and all of her adventures at Sturgis? She's been out trying to get notches in her belt again. This time she went up to the Tail of the Dragon.
Yes, I did it.
Did you really?
I really did it. Now, yes, when I last was on your awesome show, Paul, I was coming off of Sturgis talking about all of those adventures, how the crosswinds, it was my first time really riding for long periods in crosswinds and how terrifying that was, how I overcame it, how I unlocked a new level of riding skill for me. And I've been riding about 8 years now. So, I mean, not that long, but not that,
Right. Right.
kind of right in the
newbie.
middle. Exactly, but I'm still learning. And I did the Tail of the Dragon. And it's funny because my husband Parker says, babe, once you've done the Tail of the Dragon, you just call it the Dragon. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now, Paul, let me rephrase that. So I did the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
But it was not without fear, trepidation, all of the things, nervousness, because the day before, and I'm used to riding, let's say, Daytona style, along a nice body of water in a straight line. I'm very new to hills, crookeds, inclines, declines, all that terrain that Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee has to offer. I hit some of it in Sturgis at Iron Mountain Road, but that was just a little bit. This was days and days of this kind. So I'm new to this kind of riding. Well, with that newness, I really didn't know to let my engine do a lot of the work. And I think because of fear, maybe a little stress, I was using my front brake a lot, which in riding, we don't use it. You use your, but I don't know why I was using it. Well, it gets overheated. So now I'm going down Slaughter Mountain is what it's called, no less. Now this was the day before Tail of the Dragon. And so I'm going down the mountain and I reach for my handbrake and nothing's there.
Oh, no.
I'm downshifting. But then I hit my foot brake and it's just not powerful enough. It's not catching enough. I'm basically brakeless. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at where the road's going to take me. I'm trying to decide, am I going to have to jump off of my motorcycle? Am I going to be severely hurt anytime now, around any turn? Thankfully, we weren't on the Dragon because that we know is 318 turns in 11 miles, which surely I would experience a turn. Thankfully, the road evened out. My foot brake was able to catch up with my speed. I jumped off my bike. I was in tears, Paul. I had to check my seat also. I was like, oh my gosh, I was just so scared. So I was my husband was behind me. He pulled off. My two friends, Brittany and John, they were with me. And so Parker, it was really funny because he said, guess what? I really realized I married just an awesome woman who can do anything, who's just absolutely fearless because guess what, babe? Once these brakes cool down, you're going to get back on that bike and you're going to ride down Slaughter Mountain. I said, oh my gosh, yes. But I did it. I lived. The Tail of the Dragon was the next day and it was actually so much fun. But yeah, that riding it's pretty serious.
Yes, it is.
It's really serious. And you don't know what these other riders are like on this mountain. And you don't know with these turns if you're going to be crashing into an existing crash. So all of that was on my mind. It was really hard to have a good time riding up it. Yeah. When I rode it the second time down,
it was easy.
Much better.
Easier.
And you've done it.
No.
Oh, okay. I was thinking.
I have never been to the Tail of the Dragon, so I have to call it by its full name. I can't call it the Dragon legally. And because there are so many other great roads to ride around the Tail of the Dragon that I have ridden, but they don't have the traffic. They don't have the aggressive people trying to pass you and stuff like that. And of course, there's actually a website that deals with the lies, the rumors, and the myths of the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
And it talks about some of the state troopers and stuff like that give you tickets. Their famous line is, "Yeah, we lose about one a week up here." And so it's supposed to slow people down. I
Right.
think the average is 1.7 per year, so it's not near as much. But then you come across something like I ran across in the paper yesterday, because I was preparing for this last night after you called. And yesterday, well, it said 18 hours ago, so it was either yesterday or day before yesterday now, this rider was actually killed on the Dragon, and this deputy was trying to recover his body from either the ravine side of the road or whatever, and ran across a black bear, and the black bear had been scavenging the body that was
Oh,
laying in
my
the ditch.
gosh.
So there are some very, very bad things that happen at
Yeah.
the Dragon, but sometimes it's the people that get too aggressive and they want to ride fast and they want to pass everybody on the Dragon. But most everyone that I know that takes it with a bit of caution enjoys it and
Yeah.
has a great time. But me,
Right.
no, I have not been there. So
Well-
I haven't been to Sturgis. I haven't been. See, you're doing so many more things that I'm
You're
not.
coming with me. Come
Oh,
on. We're going
man.
on tour next year, Paul.
Oh,
I'm
well.
glad I did not contribute to the Tree of Shame. That was my one goal, because they have this giant tree with all of these parts off of motorcycles that have wrecked. So I didn't contribute to that. I think that's a win.
Well, do you know who started the Tree of Shame?
No.
It was a bunch of Harley riders. they had, no joke, back in the 80s, they had lost some pieces as they were coming down the mountain. We need to put this on the Tree of Shame. So they actually started. That's what the reason it's called the Tree of Shame. But it was originally done with Harley parts.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, well, they've got everything. They've got car parts now, Corvette,
yeah,
BMW. Yeah.
Well, there's as much touring cars and stuff up there, sports cars and stuff
Yep.
like that. As
And
there
then
are
you have the
motorcycles.
people that are just living around there,
Yeah.
that are just going home, which is odd as well.
Yep. The thing that amazes me, you got these many turns, 318 and 11 miles, and there are no interconnecting roads or driveways on that 11 miles.
Right. Yes.
I thought
yeah.
that was wild that they could actually sequester that off to
Yeah.
where there would be no roads or any possible traffic. Well, you take Isle of Man TT. Look they're running through the countryside, through the towns and stuff like this, and
Right.
everything just shuts off. And you never hear about I'm sure it happens, but you never hear about cars accidentally getting on the track
Right.
while they're out running.
That would be something
Now, how
else.
many people were with you on the ride?
4. There's 4 of us. Yeah.
4 of us. Did anybody have any problem?
No one, not.
Every-
You know what was interesting though? My friend John, we call him Papa Wheelie. He was not doing wheelies on the Dragon, but his brakes also went out. His handbrake got too hot and went out about 5 minutes after mine. It just happened at
Wow.
about the same time. So it was good that we pulled over and had a chance to pull over as well. But
Well.
yeah, it was a great time. I recommend it to anyone. We stayed in Helen, Georgia. Have you ever been there?
Been to Helen, absolutely.
Oh, wow. That was
Great
fantastic.
German town in the middle of Georgia.
I mean, it was fantastic. They piped that music through the town, through the town, and you just can't help but be transported into this Bavarian village. And what's cool about it too, if you've never been to Helen, Georgia, the Dollar General, the Wendy's, the McDonald's, they're all disguised as Bavarian. Like there's no corporate footprint there.
No.
Everything is disguised as a Bavarian chateau
And that
and chalet. That's what I meant.
that entire thing is so interesting. They were a manufacturing town, a textile town. All the textiles started moving out of the United States and going overseas and whatever. The town was going bankrupt. The city fathers got together and said, what can we do to save this town?
What a brilliant idea.
And somebody came up with that. Why don't we make this into a Bavarian chalet type town with German food and whatever? And everybody bought into it, and that's how you got it. I'm
Right.
sure there's more to that story,
I
but that
love
was the story
it.
that I heard.
If you're not
Did you go
German
to
and live
Ellen-
there, then you are now.
Did you go to Ella, Georgia?
No, we
Or is
went
it
to
North
Blairsville.
Carolina?
Shout out to all the
Blairsville.
Blairsville. That
Yeah.
was great. Just all around there. You know, obviously, when you're on the Dragon, you hit Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, and Georgia, which I had no idea
Right.
that you're hitting 3 states with that one ride. That is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that area always has been fascinating to me. We used to go to a place up there called the Blue Ridge Motorcycle Campground.
Okay.
And it's about 25 miles this side of Asheville, North Carolina, and right on the Blue Ridge. Well, you have to get off the Blue Ridge for about 10 miles. But anyway, They had a major flood a couple of years ago and just absolutely wiped out everything up there, the bridges and this, that, and the other.
Oh.
But it is a motorcycle campground. It's a small bridge. Cars cannot get across the bridge. Cars have to park over here, and bikes are the only ones that are allowed inside the area.
I hope
And
there's
the
not gravel in sight, right? There's like
Oh,
if
there's
they,
a little bit. There's a little bit.
if it's a motorcycle campground, they know our people. It's like
Yep,
no gravel
absolutely.
here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you had a great time. Let's see. So what's your next thing that you haven't done that's on your list?
Well, the next
gotta have
thing,
a bucket list.
Interesting that you say that. It's not really a riding bucket list, but it is an event bucket list. And I've been to the museum at Barber, which I love, my favorite museum. And I've even been to Milwaukee and seen the Harley Museum, and I thought that was going to be fantastic. It pales in comparison for my love for the Barber Museum. So I've been to that, which I'll be going while I'm there, but I'm finally getting to go to Vintage Barber Fest. I'm so excited. Law Tigers will be there. We'll be set up all the days. We'll have the tent rocking, so come over, get some swag, talk to us. But I'm so excited. I've heard so much about this. It's a 3-day, 4-day, at least a 3-day event.
It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everybody packs up and go home.
Correct,
type thing.
yeah. So I've heard about it for years. Everybody who's worked it, my fellow Law Tiger coworkers, they're like, man, this is so much fun. So it's my turn, and it's only in a couple weeks.
I have been to that because back when we were a particular motorcycle brand, which I will not mention, we were the featured dealer for that. So we actually were one of the sponsors for that, and we had a blast. We worked the whole time we were there. We didn't get to see the things like we wanted to, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's a great time to go up there, especially if you like to shop. There'll be every kind of part in the world. There'll be every kind of bike up there for sale.
Well, and that's the thing. Since it's a vintage fest, that's the thing. They have this huge swap meet where if you're looking for those vintage, hard-to-find parts, or at least somebody who might have a connection to one, this is your place to meet them, buy them, have fun, and it's a community for those vintage heads.
Yeah, and you'll find so many different people up there. You'll find people that you haven't seen in years. Oh, what are you doing up here? All right, now.
Being vintage.
So now you're looking at East Coast and South. Is there anything on the bucket list for the West Coast?
West Coast. Now, if we were talking to my husband, he loves to ride everywhere in California. I never have. The farthest I've ever gone with my bike, I guess, would be Sturgis on that side, but not anything West Coast.
West Coast,
yeah, so
got to come up with something for West Coast.
My stepson is serving in the Navy in San Diego, so maybe we should take our bikes there and do some riding with him.
Now that you mentioned San Diego, see, I have a bucket list item West Coast that I haven't been to. Been to West Coast a bunch since I flew for a living. I was out on the West Coast. There is a town that's east of San Diego, and it's called Julian, California.
Okay.
Julian, California is considered the P-I-E, capital of the United States.
Okay.
Some of the
delicious.
Some of the best you'll ever find in the world. They actually take orders and ship them out, FedEx and UPS, every single day from these restaurants. I mean, there's a ton of restaurants up there.
Okay.
And so
the pie capital of the world.
Pie capital. So I want to do something maybe one day for charity and call it the Great American Pie Run.
Yes.
And run to Julian, California just to eat pie.
And come on back.
Absolutely.
Now that's a good one.
Now,
I like that.
But that hadn't been done yet. So we'll have to wait and see how that works.
I like that. I'm going to look up Julian now.
Julian, California. But a lot of your cycle magazines, when they do motorcycle reviews, that's where they go, because they'll start out on one side of the mountain, which has nice, long, sweeping twisties.
Okay.
And they go up Julian, and they get their fill of pie and other foods up there for lunch. And then they go down on the other side for photographs, and you got the tight twisties on the other side
I'll
of the
stay
mountain.
on the first side.
Yeah, but I'll just stay up with the pies for me.
Yeah,
that's
right.
fine with me.
I'll be here eating the pie.
And it's not that far off the interstate either, so that makes it really nice too.
Well, that's a good bucket list. Okay, I like it.
Now we have some other events coming up.
Yes.
All right, so we talked about Barbers, and you got Thunder Beach coming up in your area.
Thunder Beach, end
Did you
of
say
October.
Next month a while ago?
Yeah.
Next month?
Yeah. Well, it's only a couple days till October.
Oh, man.
Isn't that unbelievable? I just can't believe that October, November, December, 3 months till we have 2025 ahead of us.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So yes, we've got Barber. We've got a couple of bike nights next week.
Right.
The first Wednesday of every month, we've got Billy's over at Billy's Bacon in Fairhope. He has a bike night, all bikes welcome, family friendly, fun. He's got music, bacon specials, drink specials, the whole lot. So love to help them. He is so great.
He's gotten into bikes big time.
Love him.
Anything
he rides
that has
a
to do
cool
with bikes,
Triumph.
he's there. Yeah.
So that is next Wednesday. It's the first Wednesday of every month. So definitely hit up that one. We have the None Better, October 20th. This is an annual event put on by the Mobile Bay Vintage Motorcycle Club. Shout out to you, Maurice and Michael Steiber, and you, Paul.
Jim Downey.
Yep, Jim Downey. All you guys, such a great event. It helps the sisters. Fill in the blank for me there.
Well, it helps the Sisters of the Poor that is there. And this is like the third time that they have done their fall show there. And it's just been a great time every time. There's plenty of room so you can set up. You're not crowded. And the sisters really enjoy it. So it's a great time for everybody there.
Right.
It really is.
I love it. I was there last year, set up. There's a great car and bike show there, or bike show, I'm sorry. But yeah, and the sisters, they were on the motorcycles looking so cute. I just loved it. It was a good event.
Some of them rode last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. But anyway.
So that's October 20th, and that's going to be that's in Mobile.
Yes,
correct. Yes,
it's at the. Listen to me. It's at where the nuns stay, and I can't. It's
I know, and you've got flyers everywhere. Yes, Little Sisters
of the Poor.
That's it.
Yeah, it's their place, and that's over by McGill-Tulin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and then you mentioned Thunder Beach. That is the end of October, I believe, the 23rd through the 27th.
Right.
If you happen to be in Panama City Beach for Thunder Beach, you got to look for the Law Tigers. We'll be at Frank Brown Park. We'll be at Harley. But also, Saturday, October 26th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., if you go to the Bike Rack, which is at Alf Coleman and Front Beach Drive. It used to be called Lucky 13. It's a big lot. They've got vendors, stunt shows, and my band will be playing. Conjugal Visit will be playing from 5 to 7 Saturday, October 26th for Thunder Beach. So we are super excited. We've got all kinds of surprises. I'll be doing a burnout in the middle of the show, Paul.
On your bike?
I'm trying not to give away all my secrets, but
on your bike?
Yes. Oh. Yes. So I'm due for a new tire, so I thought this would be
a
good.
Who's supplying the new tire?
Thought I'd make it an event. And we've also got one of our youngest little inmates, because we're kind of a kitsch band. We've got the inmates, which aren't really inmates, as the members. And then I'm the warden, right? So we've got a little 6-year-old inmate who comes out and sings with us. Is dressed in his prison uniform. His name is Bo. And so we can't wait to have him back. So we've got some good surprises.
All right, cool. Now, let's go back to the the Dragon.
The Dragon.
As you said. Okay, so we're talking about the Dragon. Is it worth it?
Yes, absolutely.
So people that haven't been there before, you say go.
Go, let your engine do the work is my best suggestion, but absolutely go. We met so many cool people from all over the world come to do this. We saw cool cars, we met Corvette clubs, BMW club, like it was a mixture of everybody. But the day before when my brakes went out on Slaughter Mountain, I had trepidation. I even said to my group, guys, I don't know. I don't know if I should do this. This is kind of like an omen telling me maybe you shouldn't do this. And they said, Aly, come on. You've come all this way. You've got to do it. And I said, of course, don't be silly. I've got to do it. But yeah, you got to do it. It's so much fun. And it's not as crazy as everyone, just take it slow. Take it as slow as you need to go.
So you will do it again, right?
Yeah, I would do it again for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, now we got.
But make no mistake, Paul, I like the nice and smooth straight line riding.
Okay. Yeah. I think most people do. Of course, some of the bikes really lend themselves. I had a real good friend of mine. He's been a Harley rider most of his life, my age. So he's one of these old guys. And so he goes up and rides the Tail of the Dragon. He comes back and says, can I borrow your bike? And at that time, I had a BMW 1150 RT. He said, that's a sport bike made for the hills. He came back and he said, here's a bike. Bike did well. I didn't. And so the next year he goes with his two son-in-law, his son and his son-in-law, and this time he's on a Honda automatic.
Okay.
He said, I got so tired of shifting gears, but he absolutely loved it too. But he's been up there before bunches of times on the regular Harley. But it is taxing.
Yeah.
You got to pay attention to what you're
It
doing.
really is. But you feel accomplished. And like I said, I'm a better rider for it now. And you get in those situations, and this is how you know how good of a rider you're getting to be, is when you get in these situations and you aren't panicking by jumping off your bike.
Yeah.
You figure it out. You dig deep, you say some prayers, and you get through it, and then you know what to do the next time. So sometimes you just gotta go through.
Well, have you been to an official safety rider course?
Yes, I have. Yes,
the one, was it the one in Monroeville?
I've been to a few. With Law Tigers, we're afforded to be at a lot of different events. So
I figured you were. So.
I've been privy to several up and down the Panhandle here. Yeah, and I definitely suggest it. Advanced riding courses and safety courses.
That's something we just found out last week is the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, which is up in Monroeville, the University of Monroeville. And they've been putting on courses all over the United States all over Alabama for years. And they always had trouble coming down to Mobile and finding the right place. I took my course through them one time, a long time ago, and they liked to never found a place. We did it in the rain. It's one of those things.
Oh,
You're
my
going to
gosh.
do it rain or shine. You're going to do the course.
It's almost better that you kind of are doing it in the rain, because now you know how to battle rain.
Exactly. And so they had a hard time finding a place, and it was hit and miss there, whatever. They have now made a deal with the fairgrounds out here, and they're going to be coming, I think, once a month during the riding seasons and so forth, but they are planning on at least being in Mobile once a month for their Safety Rider Foundation course.
Fantastic.
And I think there's two different courses, sort of the beginner and then the expert. So if you haven't had a safety course before, take it from people that have been racers, flat trackers, and stuff like that, and then when you wind up going to one of these, you think, I don't want to go that. I know how to ride a motorcycle. And they told me, well, you'll save 20% on your insurance because you go to this course. And I thought, and at that time, Harley would actually pay for it.
Nice.
If you took it. And I said, all right, I'll go. It was so amazing how much stuff I didn't know that I thought that I knew. It made me such a better rider. And the instructors at the University of Monroeville up there at the Safety Foundation, they're absolutely awesome. And we have some local guys here in town that are actually part of that instructor corps that goes wherever they go. So, yeah, it's well worth it.
And it's fun getting better at something.
Yeah, exactly.
and unlocking new secrets. Like you said, you learned something. And you've been riding, since you were itty bitty. So you think
I started out when I was 18.
Oh, well, that's still itty bitty.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you have the background for safety, if you've gone through the things that can go wrong, the things that do go wrong, and how to handle them, if you go through that, then chances are you're never going to need Law Tigers.
That's right. Hopefully, and it's not always your fault. So keep that in mind. And when it's not, you call us anyway. But yeah, Law Tigers, we are here for you. We are celebrating. We're going on our 24th year, Paul. We started out in Arizona. Ari Levenbaum and his father started us off. And now we're in pretty much all the states, barring a few. We just unlocked some new ones. Delaware, Iowa.
Cool.
We've got some new areas, so we're really excited about that. But yeah, if you've been injured in an accident on your motorcycle, you call us. We fight. We know what to fight for. All of our attorneys ride. And, not only do we negotiate your medical bills down, but we get everything from your helmet to your riding boots to your riding jacket, obviously your bike, but we all of that is a whole package deal, and that's why we say you got to ride to know what to fight for, because you can't leave all that stuff out that's important to you, and that's your safety gear, and
that's it.
Yeah, you don't want it coming out of pocket. And I got to say, thank you so much. I love coming on the show, and we've got some special fans.
Do we really?
Oh my gosh. We've got some of the biggest fans.
Yeah, you told me about one.
And I love our fans out there. And I just want to do a shout out to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, Jean, we call her Nanners, and Papa, Bob Blanche. They live in Baton Rouge, and they love our show. That when I'm on a guest, and I
Cool.
thank you. And it's their chance to get to see me. Sometimes, they get to see me in doing my thing. So I love them so much, and they're so sweet to watch all of this and get their shout out.
Yeah, we get a few people that say, "Hey, I saw your show. What'd you think?" No. I told him one of the guys says, "Can't you get somebody else besides you to do your part?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Now
It's
that's
my
funny.
equipment. I paid for it. I'm going to be here and doing it." So, no, we enjoy it, and we really do it. And it's a very worthwhile cause. Law Tigers, we would not be having stuff in our shop if we didn't believe in it. I don't put anything in this shop that I don't believe in it or that I wouldn't use myself. Because I'm not going to suggest.
It's a good policy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you want to give something, sell a helmet to somebody, and then turn around? Well, I never really liked those helmets anyway,
Right.
huh?
Yeah.
Because our motto here is all the gear, all the time.
Gotcha.
And that means yes, some days it's 102 outside. Yes, you put on the jacket. Yes, you put on the pants. Yes, you put on the boots. You don't put on the tank top, the shorts,
And
and
the
the flip-flops. Yeah, there we
I
go.
see that a
You've
lot.
seen that a lot, which are illegal in the state of Alabama, by the way.
They should be.
Yeah, but anyway, we enjoy having Law Tigers here. More importantly, we enjoy having Aly here. She's
Thank
a
you,
blast.
Paul. I love coming here.
We have such a fun time doing this.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be on anywhere close to the Barbers, Thunder Beach, the None Better Bike show, which is going to be great, or over at Billy's next Wednesday night, just go on by because there'll be
Look for us.
Well, there'll be Law Tiger swag everywhere.
Yep.
So and if you ever go to the Tell of the Dragon, remember this. Remember what Aly said.
That's right.
And so I'll have to do that the next time I go up.
Let your engine do
Yeah.
your work.
There you go. Absolutely.
Let your conscience be your guide and your engine do your work.
All right, everybody. Well, listen,
Thank you,
thanks so
Paul.
much for joining us. We have had a great time as usual. Stop by and see us sometime. This is Paul from Rosie's 1901, 3200 Halls Mill Road in Mobile. And we're out.
Awesome.